Hey, fifth grade, if you are watching this video, that means that you have successfully and completely filled in your graphic organizer and you are ready to take your first attempt at writing your memoir in the form of prose. So one of the things I want to talk to you about before we get started is in the last several drafts that I've seen students working on, or not several drafts, but in draft one, I see a lot of students composing in a huge block of text and not typing in paragraphs. And I kind of have to walk around and tell them, hey, remember that your reader's not going to want to pick that up and even give it a try because you're not giving their brain any time to regroup or process the information that you're giving them. That's what a paragraph is and does for a reader. Okay, so when you are drafting, this part where it says draft in complete sentences and paragraphs with capital letters and punctuation, guys, it's right there on the page in front of you. You've got to do this. This is how we write. These are the rules of writing. These are regular rules of writing that you have been taught since you've been writing, okay? When you were little, you would use the finger space when you started a new paragraph, when you were writing on paper, and now we use the tab key to start a new paragraph, okay? Also, I have been a fifth grade teacher for a very long time. Increasing the font size and hitting the enter key 4 times in between paragraphs doesn't actually make your memoir longer, okay? It just makes it take up more space on the page. I'm not grading how much your memoir takes up space on a page. I'm grading whether or not you take this memory and you bring it to life for your reader, okay? So just keep that in mind as you get started with your draft. All right, so I'm going to start out by reading this to you. Open the pre-writing graphic organizer that you chose to use in a tab. So you want to have it open in one of these tabs up at the top so that you can bounce back and forth from your graphic organizer, because there really is no point to taking the time to do a good job and add details there if they're not going to show up in your draft, okay? So remember that can be found in your work section of the assignment. Next, you're going to use that information and details that you added to your graphic organizer to write your first draft of your memoir. Remember that this is your first try at getting what's in your mind and heart on paper into the shape of a memoir. This is an excellent time to make a movie behind your eyelids. Drafting complete sentences and paragraphs with capital letters and punctuation. This should not be one large chunk of text. Again, I'm going to demonstrate just so you can see. All right, so don't change the font size. Hit the tab key and then begin typing. Okay, and let's say that this is the end of my first sentence. So I'm going to put a period and then I'm going to hit the space bar and then I'm going to keep typing, except I'm going to capitalize the first letter of the next word that I'm typing, because that's what we do. Obviously, this is gibberish that I'm typing, but I think you guys get the idea. So I'm going to keep going so you can see what it looks like when we type in paragraphs. That's the shortest sentence in history. All right, so let's say that was my first paragraph. Obviously, yours should be longer, okay? To make a new paragraph, I'm going to hit enter one time, and then I'm going to hit tab, and then I'm going to start typing again, okay? I'm going to punctuate at the end of my sentences. I'm going to space between my words. I'm going to make sure if I include dialogue that I give them a new paragraph every time the speaker changes. But other than that, guys, this is regular writing. And so it follows the same rules as regular writing. Okay? So I'm ready to start a new paragraph. I punctuate my sentence, I hit enter, and then I hit tab. All right? So I do not want to see a large chunk of text as I'm walking around. Okay? You guys can do this. You're fifth graders. I know you know how. So show me your best, because all I'm looking for is to see growth from your first memoir to your second memoir. And you guys know so much more going into your first draft of this memoir than you did when you wrote your first one. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you for draft 2 and revising. Bye.